Greetings and welcome back to the bench for a brand new episode of the Jagdpanzer A-O. It was only yesterday that I uploaded the last video, and today is the second to last day of this year, 2017. And like I said before, I really want to get this finished before 2018, but we'll see how that happens since it's already afternoon here and I'm just getting to the bench right now. And yeah, there's a dinner party tonight with the family, and there's a dinner party tomorrow night with the family, and that one will last past midnight, so the crunch is on, I guess. Highly doubting that I will get this finished in time, especially seeing how, also a small disclaimer kind of, I'm filming this with a sick baby right behind me, so you might hear some coughing, you might hear some screaming and crying. I do apologize for that. But anyways, if we get back to the build, it is time for weathering stuffs. And if I were a bit more pro at making YouTube videos, I would probably already have the next thing that I'm going to use ready and at hand, but instead I'm pulling it out of the drawer right now as I speak. So we're going to go ahead with the Rain and Dust liquid pigments from Life Color. And you might see this as a kind of complete tank going on right here, but if you can remember from the last video, this one isn't glued on yet, because we still have to put some pigments and highlights on the tracks. And I want to do the entire run of the track on the top side, even though it's not going to be seen. It's something that I want to do anyways. And just I'm breathing a little bit into the mic, but anyways, let's see if I can remember how to open this thing. We're going with today, I think, not the suit, but the dark dust for the tracks. Maybe a little light earth, I don't know. Let's just pull everything out. This was road dust, I think. Yeah, I'm not going to be using that. That is too white. So I've been thinking about these tracks a little bit, and I know making a rust wash is quite popular, but I don't think I'm going to be doing that for this build, because I don't think it's really accurate enough. Not that this tank is accurate at all, I just don't want to do it on this one. So I've shaken this up a bit. Probably should have shaken it up a bit more, and now I'm just gonna put it on the tracks. And this is kind of experimental for me. I haven't really used this before on this kind of application. I did a little bit on the FD17, and it's quite light actually. But we'll see how it looks once it dries out. I was thinking I would also put maybe a bit more heavier dirt in here, thicker clumps and build up. And I only did the thin application that you saw in the last episode. But I might come back to this and yeah, put some more clumps in there, and then I'm gonna also put in a little bit of the wash as well, or the liquid pigments. Yeah, so just gonna go ahead and do this kind of randomly, and also I'm gonna get this into focus so you can see what I'm doing. Yeah, let's speed this sucker up, I guess. Okay, so after doing one track and it is already starting to dry out on top here, I feel like this dark dust is actually very, very light colored, and I don't really like it that way. I want to have it the dark European dirt color more. This looks like some desert sand or something. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick up a bigger brush first of all, so it will go faster on. Do the other side a bit faster with this just to get the effect the same on both sides, and Then I think I'm gonna pick up the suit wash and put that on top of this, because that's not quite black like I would want suit to be. I think it's more a bit more brownish color. I haven't really used it yet on anything. Never even, I think, opened up the bottle. So yeah, it's really poorly shaken up, as you can see. I never used it. So yeah, I'm gonna quickly add to the other side, then I'm gonna shake up the suit, and yeah, look at this. I think it's more of a brown, dark brown color, so it might be the effect that I'm looking for actually. But still, this one doesn't hurt. It just adds a little bit to the variety. Of course, the nature would never be like just one uniform color. So yeah, let's do that. I'm dragging it inwards on the bottom here just to get a little splatter going on the bottom here. Just a little bit more dirt effect. And yeah. Yeah, I forgot what I was gonna say. Yeah, I got you guys flipped over here real quick because I want to show you something about these liquid pigments. I did this entire track with a slightly bigger brush, and I did it a little bit heavier, and it went down real fast, real quick. And as you can see, I put a lot of splatters down on the underside of the tank here. And the beauty of these washes is, besides being water soluble and non-toxic and that kind of stuff, and non-smelling and everything, you get this handy life color. That doesn't have anything to do with it except make it. They come with this remover in the box set. If you get the box set, every box set comes with one bottle of remover. I guess you could also use just plain old water, and you can use this to create streaks and stuff as well. But it's really easy just to get a little bit on a brush or Q-tip or whatever, and just remove it, and it works really well. So as a little bit of an advertisement for the thing, I just want to show you guys this. Now I don't really care about the splatters on the bottom here, since usually I don't even weather my bottom of tanks, but I think I'm gonna do a mud on the bottom of this one like I did on the FT17. Yeah, so anyways, here we are with a suit color. I've shaken it up, and we're getting this red brownish color, I think. And I want to flip this guy over again. I want to start again on this side. Now, these washes are coming kind of through the tracks and stuff, and I don't mind that. I mean, it could get like crammed up in there, a little bit of dirt, a little bit of dust. And I'm actually really liking this dark dust effect that it's getting on here. If I were doing a desert vehicle, or at least not a non-European kind, I don't know really what the dirt is like in other countries, but like in the winter time here in Iceland, we get our cars really with like dark dust effects on the side. The regular cars, I mean, we use salt on our roads and stuff, but also we don't have any white sand like this. All our sand is volcanic black. So yeah, I think this is, show you guys the color here. It's a lot more darker brown. So we're just gonna slather. I'm just gonna slather this on here, not giving a crap about anything. Excuse me, because I think this is gonna be a little bit more like the effect that I'm going for. I'm not gonna do a quite as heavily as I did before on the other side, because I just want to add to the light dust or dark dust effect that I already got going on there. Trying to get a little bit more randomness into it. But yeah, this is already looking more like what I was thinking about. And then of course I'm going to come in and dry brush steel color on all the highlights. And again, I'm dragging inwards just to benefit a little bit from the splattering that will happen inevitably. So yeah, no need to show you guys this again. I'm doing exactly the same thing as I did with the dark dust. just with a different color. So I'll see you guys when this is dried out. So with the washes on, they're still wet. Actually, the first layer of wash, the dark earth, dark dust, was actually still kind of wet when I came over with the soot effect. And so the two washes kind of mixed together into a uniform color on some places. It's got the randomness that I wanted, it looks like. But when they actually mixed up a little bit, we actually got pretty close to the, as you can see here, the color of the actual road dust here in Iceland. So I'm quite happy about that. Now this manufactured dirt that I got here, this is actually just leftover from doing the inside here yesterday. As you can see, it dries quite darker than it actually is. What I've done here is that I've picked open the crusty layer on top that was dried out on top of this, add a little bit more dirt to get it a bit thicker, and now I'm just gonna like cake it in on some places here where I think it would cake a little bit more. Gather up a little bit more. Maybe I should be using a brush for this instead of a toothpick. But I'm gonna try this anyways a little bit, and I got a little bit dried out here as well. One that hasn't been mixed quite yet, so just raw dry dust. And I wanted to see if that would maybe stick a little bit up on top and stuff, and add to the effect. And I've also been thinking maybe I should like get just take the dried dust as it sits in my can of dirt and sprinkle it on like just pigment powder or something. See how that goes. I wonder if it will get wet when I clear coat over it or something. I think I'd rather use my brush. Are you guys seeing anything? I want this entire look of this tank to be quite dark, so I apologize if you guys can't really see what's going on because it's too dark. But that's kind of the effect that I'm going after, is this sinister looking dark muddy tank. But not too muddy though. That's why I want the camo colors also to be quite dark. And I've been thinking maybe I should learn how to do some sort of a filter on top of it. And I think that's one thing that I'm going to do. So I'm not adding a lot of mud here. I'm trying to keep it away from the rubber on the tires as well. I'm just trying to, what I'm doing here is that I'm not really adding to it. I'm just trying to blend it into the mud that I put on here yesterday. But I'm already getting quite happy with this side, so I think it's about time to move on to the other one, and I'm not going to bore you guys with that. It's got a little mud cake in there on this side, and I decided to go ahead and just, since I had so much in the can left, do a little bit on the bottom here as well. It's not much, and I probably will add some more, but I did get some cake up going on stuff where it would catch, I guess. Would like a little bit more on the inside here on the running gear brackets or wherever that is. Yeah, so now all I have to do before I glue the upper hull or the casemate on, whatever you want to call it, is I still gotta do the highlights. And yeah, I'm just gonna do those next, even though the wash isn't quite dry yet. Just because I'm in a hurry. Oh, I'm not in a hurry though. I don't want, even though I'm putting myself up to the challenge to finish this before the new year, I'm not gonna make it come down how I want it to look like. I'm gonna do my best, of course. And I'm also not gonna go ahead and do a bunch of stuff because I want to get this stuff on video. So I started off on this side with gun gray from Vallejo because it's a darker than the steel that I used on the inside here. And I'm quite used to using the gun gray for highlighting tracks because I like the dark look. Again, I go with a dark look. But I decided to go ahead and give the steel color a try on this side. And I actually kind of like that better. It's brighter, it looks more worn. This one is too dark. So I'm gonna go ahead and redo this track and do this one entirely in steel. Just because I think it looks, yeah, it looks the part more. Of course, it's not in focus. Yeah, you get. Yeah, now this guy is starting to look the part a little bit more, I think. I'm actually quite happy with this. You guys judge for yourselves. I think I'm just about ready to put the casemate on. Is that even the right word? I just heard it somewhere. And once this is glued down, I can do the chipping, I guess. I want to do the side skirts separately, I think. I want to finish weathering the tank quite a bit before I add the side skirts. The side skirts, of course, I want to do a little bit more rusty because those are made from thinner metal and less important metal, I guess. And also going to do some mud on the bottom of those. And I already incorporated the battle damage in them, as you should have seen in the first video. And some scratches and stuff that I've got to paint in. And yeah, do like a bare metal effect and a rust. This is a point in time where I wish I had the rust pigment set from Life Color. This is Rain and Dust. They also do rust and dirt, I guess. I don't know. I can't remember. It was rust and something, I think. And yeah. But before, I think there's a few places that I want to do some touch-ups, like the paint wore out on the jack here. And also on this guy. I don't even know what this is. This is some sort of a wrench and pry bar combination. Yeah, and there's a few places that I would like to touch up a little bit. And then maybe I could just fix those with some chipping or something. But I guess I'll find out at a later date. Right now, I think I'm gonna glue this sucker on. Actually, I'm looking at the tracks and I'm thinking there's probably something more that I could do. But I'm not quite sure what that is. So yeah, maybe it's just best to leave him as is. It's so easy to go too far, I guess. Yeah, so get some glue on this thing, you say. I'm about to go ahead and do the chipping, a little bit of chipping at least. So I got a piece of sponge, foam sponge, in my tweezers here, and it's pretty much just the same thing as dry brushing. Get a little paint in it and get most of it out again, and then just chip away in places where they would think they might have chips. Probably should concentrate more on places where the crew would be climbing all over the tank, but in this case I really don't have any clue as to where the crew might be climbing all over. It has a hatch here and a hatch here, and some smaller hatches here and here. Yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and give it some random splotches of chips. Yeah. yeah, anyways, that's what's happening. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Got a little bit of chipping done, and next up is a little bit of black wash. Just gonna give a pin wash on all the little bolt heads and panel lines where there are mostly just hatches and stuff. I'm also gonna put a little bit of wash along the seam line, the weld seams there, and stuff. Yep. I just noticed when I was taking off the excess wash that I forgot a little detail that's fairly obvious when you look on top of the tank. And that's the fact that this guy right here is supposed to slide along, back and forth along this track here. I think it's supposed to be connected to the gun, so when the gun goes this way, this guy goes that way. And then the gun goes this way and it goes that way. So I'm guessing I need to have this guy scratched up a little bit, so I'm gonna take some gun gray and I'm gonna add some simulated scratches to rectify that.